Welcome to Legends from the Shadows, Tales of the Unexplained. I'm your host, Eric Dionne, and I'll be your guide through the mysteries that lurk beyond the ordinary. Join me as we peel back the veil on legends, myths, and enigmas that have nestled themselves in the shadowy corners of history. From cryptic creatures to eerie occurrences, we'll embark on a journey to uncover the truth, mysteries, and whispers that have captivated curious minds for centuries. Get ready to venture into the unknown, where the line between fact and folklore blur, and the stories that dwell in the shadows come to light. So, this isn't going to be a full episode. This is going to be an introduction. An introduction to somewhat of what the show is going to be about, as well as a little bit of background information on myself. First and foremost, my name is Eric Dionne. I got into the paranormal and cryptozoology side of things, unexplained stuff, at a young age. My grandmother was from Manahawkins, New Jersey, and I grew up in eastern North Carolina. But as a child, if I was causing problems or misbehaving, my grandmother would threaten me with the promise that the New Jersey devil would come and swoop me up and basically straighten my ass out. Now, as a child, that would terrify most kids. To me, it kind of opened me up to wanting to know more. Like, what was this New Jersey devil? And that spiderwebbed into a whole nother realm of information that I absorbed like a sponge. I started looking into like Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Nordic mythology, the paranormal, ghost, cryptids, you name it. It just interested me. I got into, books, like The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, Aragon, other high fantasy novels. In teenage years, loved some D&D, all this stuff. Fast forward down the road, I met Jessica, and we'd gotten married, and we decided to form a paranormal group called Sepia. So that was Southeast Paranormal Investigators Association. And we were doing stuff, and we started meeting like minds. And this is back in the days of like MySpace, before the Book of Faces came out. And one thing led to another, and we were tuned in listening to a show on a network at the time called ParaX. And we'd listen some more and more, talk to some people, and then one day was talking to one of the owners of ParaX, Dave, because Dave and Tom owned the company, and they needed somebody to fill in as a co-host. So I went ahead and filled in, and by doing that, afterwards it came back to me that one, I had a really good knack for being on air, and they enjoyed it. And two, they thought I should go ahead and do my own show. Well, with that, one of the chat users was Amy Dreammaster, and with Amy, myself, and Jessica came the formation of what came to be known as Sepia RVP, or Sepia Radio Voice Phenomenon. And it was our show on the ParaX network, and it ran for a good 6 years. Every Monday night. I think we missed 2 Monday nights over the course of 6 years. And we had all types of fun. I mean, we had great topics. We met a lot of great people. Dave Schrader, Patrick and Marley, guys from Taps, Josh Gates, Marla Brooks, Christian Day, Chris Fleming, Nick Redfern, Raven, like literally, I could go on and on and on about the great people that I got to interact with and got to meet. And then we started doing events and got to meet more people. And this was at the height of when paranormal events were just coming out and getting into play. While doing these events, you know, we met more people, more like-minded individuals like Paranormal Sarah, Danny Mason, Rosemary Ellen Guiley, John Zaffis. Just the list goes on and on. After ParaX, what happened next was I left the station and then moved over and formed Sepia RVP Radio. And with that, I had a network that I ran for about 2 years with a little over 25 shows total that were just geared for the paranormal and cryptozoology things and stuff. Then shortly after that, the next thing that happened was, you know, politics and stress, and in the end I got burnt out. Well, didn't give up on everything completely. You know, we started doing events, lecture series, lectured on the cryptozoology, went to Dragon Con, had a great time there, did a big lecture there. Other colleges around the area, other mini conventions, libraries, you name it, you know, I was trying to do it and going and just having a good time. Had the chance to work with some great people over the times with that. Worked on an episode of Haunted Collector with John Zaffis and his team. Worked on a project for the History Channel with William Shatner, called Weird or What. So did a lot of behind the scenes stuff here and there. Being here in North Carolina and 40 minutes away from Green Gem Studios, there was a lot of opportunity that were handed out, and I took advantage of it. You know, who wouldn't want to work with these people? You know, who wouldn't want to meet Camden Toy or William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, Dee Wallace? You know, the list goes on and on. Samantha Newark was out there. You know, it's just, there's so many people. And then finally I hung it up. You know, John Zaffis told me I was too open to the field for doing like investigations and stuff, and I took that advice. I took that advice very well. So fast forward, here we are, 10 years later, and I'm just now getting back to even hosting a show on anything. So that being said, the focus of Legends from the Shadows, Tales of the Unexplained is going to be all-encompassing. I'm going to tackle subjects such as, you know, the white stag, yellow topper, the Honey Island swamp monster, Selma, and the Hodog. I'm going to go into all types of cultural aspects from all over the world. Of course, as I said, December 1st, I'll be launching the first episode called The Hidden Folk. And then I'm also going to get into the paranormal and other theories that are out there that are unexplained. So I'm not going to put myself just in one little spot and be like, no, I won't talk about this. You know, we'll go into banshees and, like, you know, Loch Ness and stuff that people know. But then we'll also go into other things like the Nyx, or, you know, the Cuddy Soames, Gambo, things that people might not have heard about. You know, the rake creature or wampus cats, you know, your drop bears, your ghouls, your ghosts, you know, all types of stuff. And once I get the show up and going, probably a few episodes in, at least, then I'll start also reaching out and going back into the aspect of bringing on special guests, doing interviews like I used to do, because I love interacting with people, and I love having listeners turn around as well and give me their input and tell me what they want to hear. So a few things that are going to be out there. Our Instagram page, simply type in Legends from the Shadows, and you'll be able to find the Instagram page. It's already up there live and running, so we'll start building that up, keeping it as a separate thing. legendsfromtheshadows@gmail.com is where you'll be able to submit any questions ahead of time that you might have, any topics that you'd like me to cover, any stories, actually. If you have a story and you want to share it with me, send it in. I'll take a look over it, maybe even be able to bring you onto the show and we can talk about it. So that's where we'll take stuff like that from as well. My plan is to release a new show once a week. And then eventually I'll also start adding like some bonus episodes and maybe even do some video streaming of stuff. The goal is hopefully maybe sometime next year, but I'm not going to make any promises, is to do some live broadcasts from on locations. So that being said, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, my name is Eric Dionne, and I am going to be the host of Legends from the Shadows, Tales of the Unexplained. And I'm looking forward to this, and I really hope you all enjoy what I'm going to try to put together. It might be rough and rocky the first few episodes for me to get back into the swing of things, but in the end, my overall goal is to provide you all with something pleasurable and just fantastic. As our journey through the mysterious concludes, we step back from the shadows, but their secrets linger. Remember, in the quiet corners of the world, mysteries still whisper their tales. Until we meet again, stay curious, embrace the darkness, and never forget that truth often thrives in the most unexpected places. As we part ways, may you always find fascination in the unknown and the courage to explore the depths of the unexplained.